What's up and welcome to Fight City Gym Talk. You are here with Eric Wallin. Today's topic is you need to be good at losing before you can become good at winning. The reason I say that is it's just in my experience as I've worked around really good boxers, jiu-jitsu competitors, MMA fighters, Muay Thai fighters, the guys who go next level, the guys who are really good, they're okay with losing. And I've also met some really top-notch, amazing athletes who, as athletic as they are, they lose a match, they lose a fight, they lose a competition of some sort, and they kind of have a mental breakdown. I think it has something to do with if you're a phenomenal athlete and people all assume you're probably going to win, when you lose, you feel like you've let everyone down and you're not nearly as good as everybody thought you were going to be. And you have maybe a mental breakdown over this. Let's go back to people who are just okay with losing. People that are okay with losing, the advantage they have is they can compete all the time. They can take third place, fourth place. They go to a tournament, they take a couple losses. Doesn't bother them. The fact is, if you're okay with losing, you give yourself plenty of opportunity to learn, to grow, and to compete in a lot of different competitions. Let's just go to MMA for a second. If you're okay with losing, you can just continue to grind through an amateur career. You can take a handful of losses and continue to move on and prepare yourself to become a better pro. Also, if you're an MMA fighter, you should be competing in jiu-jitsu tournaments. You should also be competing in amateur USA boxing. You should also be doing some Muay Thai competitions. If you have this mindset where you have to win everything all the time, you won't get experience in those because you might do a jiu-jitsu tournament, lose a match or two, you're like, oh, I don't want to do this anymore. Or you do USA boxing and you lose your first match, you're like, oh, this is stupid, I don't want to do this anymore. Or same thing if you take your first amateur Muay Thai fight and you lose, you're like, oh, this is dumb. If you're okay with losing, now you can do a bunch of jiu-jitsu tournaments. And you're okay with taking fourth or third. You don't have to win first place all the time. And you can do a bunch of boxing bouts, you can do a bunch of Muay Thai fights. So really all I'm getting at is win, lose, or draw, doesn't matter. I'm just going to dust myself off. I'm going to get back to competing. The key is compete all the time. I think the biggest reason wrestlers do so well in MMA is because a wrestler can get anywhere between 20 to 30 matches in 1 year. And I say 1 year, but it's like 3 months because the wrestling season is only like 3 months long. So we're talking in 3 months, a wrestler will compete 20 to 30 times, sometimes even more if you're on a good team that's competing all the time. So by the time a wrestler's done with junior high and high school, he could have anywhere between 100, 200 matches. Then he takes his first MMA fight and he could have hundreds of competitions under his belt. So that's all I'm getting at is that simple fact that wrestlers, I think, do so well because they've competed so many times. Now, not all of us can go back in time and join our junior high wrestling team. But what you can do is make up for it. If you're in your 20s, you're getting into MMA, or you're into getting into boxing, whatever it is. What you can do is you can make up for it by competing all the time. Go to all the local jiu-jitsu tournaments if you're an MMA fighter. If you're a boxer, do as many amateur boxing bouts as you can. If you're a Muay Thai fighter, do as many Muay Thai fights as you can before you go pro. So, something to think about, guys. Be okay with losing and just dust yourself off when you lose. Learn from your mistakes and move on. Don't lose sleep over it. Sleep like a baby. Take a loss, sleep like a baby, wake up the next day and just ask yourself, what could I have done better? Don't think about it too much. Move on. Start training hard. Don't make those same mistakes again. Anyway, guys, don't forget to like and subscribe, and you'll hear from me soon.